money can be something that has a negative connotation to it. And I want to create a space where money is like the jam. And we love money, we appreciate money, we pursue money, and we're doing really powerful, equitable things with it.
Welcome to Begin As You Mean to Go On. I'm your host, Karanda Adair, recovering WordPress developer turned digital marketer and founder of Carvel Digital. I'm on a mission to help service-based business owners with a strong mission create the business of your dreams and make six figures your new minimum by setting up strong foundations for your business right from the start. If you want to make more money without the hustle and burnout, you are in the right place. Welcome, everyone. I am so excited to have Megan Hale on the podcast with us today, and we're going to talk about feel-good money. I love it. Welcome, Megan.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. All right. So it's not our first rodeo, but lots of people here might be new to you. So please introduce yourself and tell us who you are, what you do, who you help, all the goodies.
Yes, I am Megan Hale. I am a profit-first business strategist and money mentor for equity-driven entrepreneurs who are here to step into more feel-good money, make a bigger impact in the world, and build a business that intentionally funds their dreams. And I just have to say, every single time I hear people say feel good money, I literally just have to do a little shimmy. I'm like, yes, like just feels so good. And I am here to make sure that everybody knows that feel good money is available to them.
Yeah, let's start there. What is feel good money?
Feel good money is so incredibly layered and unique to you. But in my world, feel good money is really around feeling good on how you earn your money, how you steward your money, how you're able to interact with your money, how you're able to amplify your money to do some really rad things in the world, and feel really confident in how money operates in both your life and your business.
If I'm not mistaken, you're somewhat new, not like brand new, but Profit First wasn't like this years long thing. It's sort of new, right? So how did you come to really focus on this?
Yeah. So, I started implementing Profit First in my own business in October of 2018. So I've been practicing this for over 2 years now. But it wasn't until the beginning of 2020 where I really wanted to become certified, because this cash flow system has just been so transformational in how money feels and operates in both my life and business. So it just felt like it was me being in deeper integrity with something that I truly believe in, and wanting to also help people get this system implemented in their business. And so it just felt like the next right step, and it integrates so seamlessly into everything else that I teach. So it's one of the things I love about Profit First, is because it's so incredibly flexible to fit to you and what you want it to do and what you want your money to do. So I think it's a system that works for everybody.
Yeah. And I read Profit First, I don't know, at least 3 years ago, and kept saying, yeah, I want to do that. I want to do that. And didn't really have the cash flow to support it. And so when that changed this year, you were the first person I called to be like, what do I do with all this money? So that was so great. And it's such great timing to say like, oh, okay, things are, the hockey stick is here. So now let's figure out like, how do we get some systems in place around this money that's coming in so that it continues to do good things?
Yes.
That was so good to have just your full attention on, okay, let's make this real for you. Let's get some goals set up. So can you talk about that process, that sort of goals process and your money map?
Oh, yeah, for sure. So, I think one of the things that I come across a lot, which was my thinking as well, is like I really wanted to wait until cash flow was a little bit more sustainable and steady before I stepped into Profit First. But one of the things that I love about, the way that I integrate this is that we can actually start doing Profit First right away. It doesn't really matter how much money is coming in. It doesn't matter how sustainable and steady your cash flow is. We can start making a profit allocation right here, right now, that really starts to put in some really powerful money habits in place inside your business. For most people who are not familiar with Profit First, this is a very simple, easy to use, very intuitive allocation system, which is basically another word for percentages, where we get really clear on what percentage of all cash received needs to go into very specific directions that sets your business up to create sustainable growth. And I'm really big on creating custom allocations, which is why I love Profit First so much, because we can really fine tune what those percentages look like based on your needs and the way that your business runs and how much your dreams actually cost. The money map is my own system that I have developed 3 years ago, and I've been teaching it for forever. It's literally my pride and joy. I can talk about money mapping all day, every day. But the reason that I love the money map so much, or the first reason, is that instead of us pulling some arbitrary number from the sky of like, I want to make 6 figures, or I want to make 250,000, or I want to make 500,000, or whatever that is, it's actually going to ask you to get really clear on what your dreams are, and for us to then assign price points for how much those dreams actually cost. And then I do some really cool money magic inside the money map where I will actually calculate how much your business needs to generate to the dollar in order to fund all your dreams. And that creates such richer and more meaningful money goals that is just so incredibly different than just pulling a number from the sky, hoping it's enough. Or sometimes it can be too much, right? And we're putting all this financial stress that totally doesn't need to even be happening.
Yeah. And that was one of the things that really differentiated you was that personalization. Because if you just read Profit First, it's like, okay, set aside this much for your own pay and this much for your taxes. And, and like, there's no zhuzh.
Yes. Like that's the benefit of having an expert, right?
And when you said I was going to have you dive into that, like how much do your dreams cost? And this is the main reason that I wanted to have you on is because almost everyone that I speak to who applies for one of my programs, we will have a conversation and I'll say, where are you now? Where do you want to be like a year from now, 2 years from now in terms of revenue? And almost always they'll just pull some number out of their ass.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be like, okay, what is that going to do for you?
Right?
Well, I don't know. It would be nice. Or, we could go on vacation or they have a super low number. Right?
Yes.
They'll be like,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, if I could just make 5K a month." I'm like, "If you
Mm-hmm.
could just make 5K a month, you could buy, I don't know, snacks for a month." Like, you know,
Right? Yes.
like I
Yes.
don't know. And so then I'll start asking like, what do you want your life to look like? Well, I want to travel and I want to do this and I've got 6 kids and a house
Mm-hmm.
and my husband's on disability and I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, and you want to make what now?
Yes.
And so can we just bring it down to the ground, which is why I love this tool so much that you've created. Like, let's bring that shit down to the ground and
Yes.
figure out what actually needs to happen here. And then people are either sometimes they're intimidated by that, but sometimes they're energized by it. Like, oh, okay, this is what I have to do. Now let me figure out how to
Yes.
do it.
I would so much rather be radically clear on what it is that I truly need than to have be basically building my business on a hope and a prayer that what I'm trying to create is enough. And so I think that our dreams deserve clarity, we deserve clarity, and our businesses also deserve that clarity. And that's really what the money map provides.
Yeah. So I think a lot of times when people are listening to money professionals, there can be this intimidation factor of like, well, that person's just good with money and I'm not. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Let me tell y'all a story. My whole life, money has not been the thing that has felt good for me. And I think that is why I teach feel good money now, because I'm a firm believer that sometimes we are given mountains to prove that they can be moved. And that is exactly what my journey with money has been like. There has been so much healing work when it's come to money, learning how to figure out tools that have been more supportive for me to even build some financial knowledge, because let's be totally real. Like the systems of oppression that operate in the country, maybe even the world, like they limit financial knowledge for a very specific reason, because money is power in this society. And so there's all of these other stories and conditionings that go into that make us afraid of money and all of these things, and it's complicated. And so what's really been important for me is that I've had to figure out a way to make money easy, really simple, really doable. And I think that's the reason that people love the money map so much, is because I don't come from a financial background. I come from a psychotherapeutic background that is very much like soulful and like feelings and mindset. But I blend all of those tools into how we relate to money and interact with money differently. And so I think that's actually one of the biggest selling features, is that I'm not a money person and I'm not a numbers person, but I'm able to build that bridge with numbers with other people who might feel intimidated by them.
I love that. And I love that you bring feelings into it because I remember I was in therapy when I found out that financial therapists are a thing. Like, that's not
Yeah.
what you are, but I found out that was a thing. And I was like, of course, that needs to be a thing because money is just fraught with all these feelings. And a lot of times it can be negative if you don't have as much money as you want. So I love that you made your way into the money side from the feeling side. And I think
Yeah.
a lot of people, that's why you're so relatable and that's why you're so approachable about it. Talk a little more about the money map, like what it actually is. It's a course and it's a system. And I want people, if they're intrigued, we're absolutely going to give them a link to go and get it. But like, what is it?
So I've had people describe it as a system of dope ass spreadsheets. And basically, that's really what the money map is. It's a very specific system of spreadsheets and calculators that really helps you get clear on your money in several different ways of really getting clear on what is happening with your money in your business, what's happening with your money in your personal life, what's happening with your money in your dreams, and also how your business is interacting with those goals and dreams to help you reach them with the most amount of ease. And so the money map, it starts with getting clear on your money and getting clear on your goals, but then it starts opening up into all of these other beautiful things of like, okay, so let's talk about sustainable revenue generation and what that looks like for you and your business and your unique model. And then we go even deeper to integrating profit first, which we've already discussed, but then also diving deeper into profit projections. So you always know how close you are to reaching your specific dreams. And then we go even deeper into looking at the anatomy of a sustainable business and all of the elements that we really need to create to start creating more revenue momentum. So it's a fully functional system I house it over on Member Vault that's broken into self-paced modules where I walk you through how to interact with each of those spreadsheets. But the thing about the money map that I totally love is once you create your own money map, which will take you about 2 hours or less, like it's not super content heavy, which I think is another selling feature. It's not tons of content to get through, is that the money map becomes the financial hub of your business that you go and you dream on and you enter in numbers and offers and price points and all of these other beautiful things, that it really starts to become this very functional, powerful tool that people use for literally years because it continues to grow with you as your business grows. That's why I love it so incredibly much. And it also comes with live support inside the Feel Good Money membership community, which is super rad because you get live coaching with me twice a month. You can come ask all your questions. It's a super money positive space. Because I think that's really important. Like money can be something that has a negative connotation to it. And I want to create a space where money is like the jam. And we love money, we appreciate money, we pursue money, and we're doing really powerful, equitable things with it.
And money loves us back.
Oh, yes, it does.
Yes.
Yes.
So, just to bring that down to the ground. So, when I hired Megan to help me establish all this, create this system, we talked about good, better, best goals and basically mapped out like if I want to buy a house for cash in the next 3 years, here's how that will happen.
Yes.
So I just want to give that sort of concrete example for people listening. So whatever your thing is, whatever your dream is, it's not just like, oh, okay, this is how much that costs. Good luck, bye. You
Right.
know?
Yes.
It's like, this is how much that costs. Okay, now let's look at your offers in your business.
Yes.
Oh, it looks like your offers aren't really priced the way they need to be to
Yes.
support these dreams that you have. Let's
Correct.
look at that. Maybe we need a new offer. Maybe we need to raise the price.
Yes.
Like, it's a fully developed conversation that covers all the pieces so that then you know,
Yes.
like, okay, I need to sell this thing and I need to sell it at this price and I need to sell this many of it and I need to do that every month for however long. So that's what I loved about it, is going through that whole system. And I think the community is super key because it's money. Like, there's so much baggage around it. And so you need a squad where you can
Yeah.
go and be like, I'm not, just whether you need an accountability buddy to like, because it took me forever just to do wrangling all my numbers, right? And so if you want an accountability buddy, you can go in the group and say, who wants to, Sunday noon, who
Yes.
wants to do this?
I
Right?
love it.
It's just like everything that you need. Once I went through it, I immediately became an affiliate. So full disclosure, the link on the show notes will be an affiliate link because I felt like it was the missing piece that so many people who come to me don't have. It's like, yeah, I can teach you how to do content marketing. I can teach you how to sell. But if you don't know what your goals are, and if you don't know how you're going to get there, and if you don't know how much your dreams cost, like all that's going to be so much harder. And I have actually told people, like, okay, you go see Megan and then come back and talk to me. Like, I have legit told people that.
Okay, so there's a couple of things that you mentioned that I absolutely love. A lot of people come to me and say, I have this big dream and I don't really know how I'm going to get there. And the one thing that I love, I mean, there's so many things I love, but one of the things that I love about the money map is literally you give me that big dream, I'm going to show you how to get there. And that does something to your psyche of like, oh my gosh, this is actually achievable. This is doable. It will give you the roadmap in order to get there. The other thing that you mentioned that I think is so incredibly key is around understanding what sustainable rates are for your work. So many of us undercharge.
Oh,
Many
yeah.
of us undercharge, right? And so when we can start to look at those numbers in black and white, like it becomes very obvious how much we have been undercharging and what a sustainable price point looks like for us. And here's where the inner work can really come into play. Okay. So I'm getting ready to do a brand new free Feel Good Money mini course in a couple of weeks. And the whole concept of this course is to combat the narrative that we have to do the healing work first before we step into more money. You don't. You can step into more money right here, right now. Okay. But the reason that this is important is because if we're trying to do the healing work first, we don't really know what healing work we really need to do that's going to unlock that next step in our business. When we have a tool like the money map that's giving us radical clarity on what does need to shift in our business, and let's say the money map is showing you, hey, you actually need to raise this price point, or you need to sell a whole lot more of this thing, which is going to require more visibility, then the blocks are going to come up. Then the resistance is going to come up. But now we know what needs to shift for us to take that next action step. And so instead of swimming around in this whole big box of money mindset work and money story, which is very complex, we can basically like pick and choose what's the piece that I need to unlock right now that's going to help me create more growth.
Yeah, I love that. And we've had this conversation before. And as someone who was on the struggle bus not terribly long ago, I can tell you nothing is more healing than having a bunch of money in your bank account.
Yes.
And
Earning
being able
is
to pay your
healing.
bills.
Yes. Earning is healing. It's part of the process, not some reward we get after we've done the work.
Yeah, like, oh, let me become worthy, like mentally worthy of money. Like, no, let me go take the actions that will bring money into my bank account and then watch how
Yes.
much better I feel.
Yes. Yes. Like 100, like I'm getting really fired up over here because I want people to know this. Like I want everybody to know, like more money is available to you right now. It's not something that you have to earn from doing a certain level of inner work.
And there's so much action you can take regardless of how you feel about it. This is a thing I also want to bring into because people are like, "Oh, well, I'm really uncomfortable with that." I'm like, "Cool. Go do it." Like that's first of all, if you're building a business and you're expecting it to be comfortable, like what are you doing? But
okay, we're going to take that little sentence out. That is a graphic. Everyone, yes. Wisdom right there.
But so like your feelings, I mean, they kind of matter, but kind of not. Like you can go do a lot of stuff, even if you feel some type of way about it. And when you get the results of doing that thing, you will feel another type of way about it. And that way will be much better.
Yes,
So,
100%. And I think that that kind of goes into like, there's a shift that we all have to make when we're growing our business. I think in the beginning stages, everything feels so personal and we're making it about us and like we are our business. And then we start to make this shift into like the role of the CEO, where it's, yeah, you can have your feelings, but you also have to still show up for your business, right? And there's a difference between having resistance and having something that's out of alignment for you or out of integrity. But I would venture to say that most of the time when we are scared of doing something, it's not because it's a lack of integrity. It's because we're afraid to go and do that thing and it's making us uncomfortable. And that is growth.
yeah, 100%. Okay, so I want to bring it back to our theme here and talk about with regard to the money map and feel good money and sort of getting a hold of this part of the business that is so important, right?
Yes.
People listening might be in all kinds of places with this. How do you begin as you mean to go on with regard to money? And it doesn't matter, whether you're new in business or whether you've been in business for a while, but you just haven't been paying attention to your money. Like where should you start?
Well, you start with the money map. I think that's clear. But I think to go a little bit more granular, I want you to imagine that money, revenue, is the air that your business needs to breathe. Without money, without revenue, your business does not have any resources to grow, to thrive, to exist. And so having a deep grasp on what that money needs to look like is incredibly important. And that it doesn't really matter what stage of business that you're in. If you're a beginner, you better have your eye on revenue, because that is your top job in the beginning of learning to figure out the earning part of your business. If you've been in business for a while, having a good grasp on what actually needs to happen financially inside your business to create more sustainable growth for you to finally step into money that feels more supportive, more easeful, more spacious, that's going to be essential for you to step into the business that actually feels the way that you want it to feel. And so getting a grasp on our numbers, I think it's something that we all need to do as entrepreneurs. It's so incredibly foundational, but it has such a big impact for the whole future of your business.
Yeah, I was thinking as you were talking, like this is deep foundational work. Like you can't really go anywhere until you figure this out. And we just had Chris Davis on the podcast, and
Yes.
he talked about people want to do a gut check. He's like, yeah, I like to do a bank check.
Yeah, I laughed when I heard him say that.
So go listen to episode 3 if you haven't heard that one yet. All right. So when is your mini course starting up?
Yes. So we're doing a free Feel Good Money mini course. It starts November 16th, and there will be a new lesson every day that week. So Monday through Friday, it's a 5-part mini course. You'll have video lessons, worksheets, lots of cool things to start challenging this narrative of why you do not need to do the healing work first before you step into Feel Good Money. I would love for you to come and join me.
Awesome. And then if folks are vibing on this, where can they find you in all the places, and where can they go to get the money map?
Yes. The best place to go is my website, which is meganhale.co. You'll see the money map highlighted right there on my home screen. It'll take you to the page. You can look over all of the things, all of the magic that you get. And the other thing that I want to mention, because I know money can feel tense or stressful or whatever it feels like for you, I promise you that money can feel fun. It can feel light. It can feel exciting, and it can feel liberating as fuck. Like that's what I want everybody to experience.
I like that. I love that to end on. Money can feel liberating as fuck. We're going to end on that. Awesome. All right, Megan, thank you so much. And I can't wait to get this good word to the people.
Yes. Thank you.
If this is your first time here with us, now is the time when you can go and leave your 5-star rating and review for all of these good gems that we have shared with you. I love that as a thank you, and it really helps us get this word out. And this money foundation stuff needs to reach as many people as possible. So if you're thinking of someone who needs to hear this right now, please share it with that person. And until we speak again, begin as you mean to go on. Creating content is an important step in your marketing strategy, but it's just one piece of creating a system that will bring you your dream clients. You need to spend more time sharing your valuable content than you did creating it. The Content Marketing Pot of Gold is my not-so-secret weapon for being able to find and share my content at a moment's notice and allow my team to keep my social media popping while keeping my brand voice on point. It's an Airtable database template that will help you organize, categorize, and track all of your content across all your marketing channels. If you don't know Airtable, it's a gorgeous relational database tool that helps you visualize your content any way you want. Think spreadsheets on steroids. Go to carveldigital.com/gold to grab your copy of the Pot of Gold today.